everyone, and welcome to today's show. The purpose of getting together today is to talk about the City of Pikeville Tourism Department and the Main Street program. Joining me today, Jimmy Taylor. He is the Director of Tourism for the City of Pikeville, and Minta Trimble, who is the Main Street Director. You know, you see a lot of them around town at various events. Welcome.
Thank you, Jill.
To the both of you. So excited to sit down and talk with both of you about the wonderful events and programs that are going on in our city. It is an ever-changing landscape in the city of Pikeville, from a tourism aspect and certainly, Minta, from a Main Street aspect. We are going to go through a lot of different topics today and events and certainly projects that are going on. Excited to get to those. Minta, first I want to start with you. And we hear a lot about the 2D district. Okay,
Right.
2D district with Main Street is something that that is completely coming together and is ever changing. So talk a little bit about what 2D is.
Well, the 2D district works hand in hand with tourism. It's creating a place for people to come and have a gathering spot, or tourists to come when they're visiting, and it's a place where along 2nd Street, that's where the 2 comes in, and D for Division Street, that the last Saturday of every month that we are creating things for people to do. Hopefully they'll do some shopping and eating, you know, just stand around with us and have some fun. But join us on the street. We're going to close the street off to where people can just walk along, you know, maybe grab tickets at Jenny Wally Theater, go on up, you know, check out what's happening at Bank 253, and then go maybe down to the Riverville, see what's going on there. So it's definitely the whole part of downtown, but more centralized in one area that we're going to be offering just things that's going to make people get together.
And it's going to be a series of events that will take place over several days. And each day or event has a name. I know we have the Derby party, tailgating in the fall.
Right.
So talk to us a little bit about the different events that will take place.
Okay, it's like I said, the last Saturday of every month, and so from 11 to 4, April, May, in June, July, and August is 11 to 4, and also 7 to 9:30, because those will be evening events as well, where we'll have music. You know, we started out with Main Street Live, and the Expo this year has taken that over, and they're going to do a great job of continuing and bringing new things. But we want to bring a new location to something similar, but maybe not on a larger scale. A little bit more, I don't know, hippie, grassroots kind of hangout area, and that'll be on Division Street. But we'll continue into the fall, September, October, November, with our traditional events of Shop Small Saturday and our tailgate and wine tasting event. Some new things that you're going to see, though, are our downtown hippie day for back to school.
Fun.
We're so excited about that. So in August, instead of thinking about, you know, where am I going to go school clothes shopping, please come downtown, check out CC Bell, you know, check out some of the shops that we're so hoping that if these do well and continue to do well, other businesses will come and go, this is a place I want to locate. This is where I want my business to be, because the city of Pikeville is really looking towards us as tourism and Main Street to support that area and bring things downtown. So business owners know it's a great investment. Another one that we'll have is Star Stripes and Sizzle, dancing in the streets that evening. So it's just a whole lot of great ideas, April through November.
Always something to do and see in the downtown Pikeville area, and I know you've worked diligently for a number of years to make sure that we have new and inviting and family-friendly events that go on downtown. And there's something about when you say we're going to close off the streets and you're going to be able to walk in the middle of the street and do things, it just gives a different feeling to people. It's such a festive atmosphere.
It does. It creates more, as we want to call it, walkability. It creates more gathering. But what it also does, in my opinion, for the merchants is there's no parking in that,
Right.
just during that time in front of their storefront. So it makes you want to go in and stop. You know, we'll put, say, maybe someone at the end of a street. Last year, Above and Beyond, you know, they joined us. This is for any city business. So you don't have to be located on 2nd and Division Street to join us. Roasted Appalachia is going to join us, you know, and they're on Hambley Boulevard. We invite anyone that's in the city of Pikeville that's not a chain to help come downtown and support the small businesses. And so it does. It's kind of like a unique experience that maybe you see in other cities that's working so well for them. But the city of Pikeville has a big mission, I think, that they want to see us build our area, for economic development and, for tourism.
Right, absolutely. Speaking of tourism, Jimmy, I know that you have been tourism director since the first part of February, so fairly new to the position, not new at all to the city of Pikeville. But when you talk about these events like Main Street is doing and Minta having something every month going on in the city, it brings so many tourism dollars into our city, and I know that's something that you are really thankful for.
Yes, ma'am. And as a matter of fact, we've got so many events, I've had to make a full page just to try to get them all in.
I know, you came in with your notes and you gave me notes too. One of the things that is a huge event that goes on during the city and brings in, I can't believe how many people come into the city from Muscle on Main. It is one of the funnest, I think you could say, especially for people who love antique cars, because they line the main street with their cars and then get over into the Riverfield and you have the drag racing. So talk to us a little bit about Muscle on Main. The first event coming up is the Cops and Outlaws event
Racing
going
the
on.
Thin Blue Line.
Racing the Thin Blue Line.
Let me give you a little backstory on this
Okay.
one. Last year we had a group of drag racers come together, and we affectionately call them the Track Rats. And they wanted to do an event for charity. They wanted to do the race and use all the proceeds to help our community. And that began the first responders race, Shop with the First Responder, which done absolutely great.
Yeah.
We raised a little over $4,000 for that event. And it went so good that they came to us again this year and wanted to do an additional race, which brought forth the Cops and Outlaws race.
I love how it says Racing the Thin Blue Line. There's going to be 2 days of an event from the 11th and 12th. Friday, I'm not real fluent with racing, so you're going to help me out a little bit. The big tire, small tire shootout registration is going to be at 5 p.m. and the race starts at 7. Saturday gates open at 8 a.m. Testing at 2. What is testing? What is this testing?
This is how they race, they time race. So they have to get their cars dialed in, so they know exactly how fast or how slow they need to go in order to win the race.
Oh, okay. It's very technical then.
It's very technical.
So me, if I got, if Minta and I were going to race each other, we just get in cars and just press it to the floor and we just head down the track. But it's a little bit more calculated, I guess.
A lot more technical than that. Yes, ma'am.
Well, there are so many people that really enjoy, like I said. And when you get down there and we have the seating on the hillside, that is phenomenal, and then people park their cars in the bank parking lot and come all around. There's so many children and families that come to watch this. It's just really a delight to see the excitement that everybody has.
Usually between 4,000 and 5,000 people.
Yeah.
And this year we're having the from the TV show Street Outlaws, guy they call Goaty Bow and Wayne Varley. They'll be there signing autographs, and they may even race this year.
Well, no, that will
So
be
you'll be able to
certainly
see that.
exciting. Also, we talk about everything that our Pikeville City Police Department has been through with the death of Officer Hamilton, and our community's really rallied around his family and our police department in efforts to raise money for his family, especially his little girl Brindley. And there's going to be merchandise there that
Yes,
all the
ma'am.
proceeds will 100% go to that cause.
Shirts, license plates, bracelets. We have all kinds of merchandise to help that family. Yes, ma'am.
Stickers, will you have the stickers as well,
Yes,
Jimmy?
that's right.
Decals for the backs of cars.
I have
ma'am.
seen so many of those,
Yeah.
and it's just, I've almost got to where I count when I'm on the highway and go 1, 2, 3. It's such a great, show of support.
We think about events like that happening in other communities. You never think that it's going to happen here, and certainly when it did, it brought a sense of togetherness that I haven't seen here ever, probably. But certainly we are moving forward as he would want everybody to do with the
Yes,
naming
ma'am.
of his street and 111 Scotty Hamilton Way. Just love that. So again, events like this certainly raising money, continuing to raise money for his family and bringing awareness to what our first responders really go through on a daily basis. I think we tend to forget sometimes
We do.
what they do and the hours that they put in to protect us and our community. Let's go back a little bit to 2D for just a second. I know, Jimmy, you've seen these renderings too. The 2D streetscape is something that has enormously changed. It amazes me every time I drive down 2nd Street or I'm on Division Street and I look around and I see the facades of the building change. I know, Minta, that's one of the things that you love, is being able to help those businesses really change the way and bring their business facade up to date. I mean, a lot of people times have been a little tough with our businesses.
Exactly.
And any help that they can get through a grant. And I know that they're so appreciative, but when you see how everything changes and you see the colorful nature that comes to be, I know that you work diligently with that.
We do, and that's the mission of the Main Street program. The Main Street program is under the city of Pikeville, but it is a national program, and it's about preservation and about promotion of downtown, the commercial business district, and it's saving that area because, back in the 70s, so many storefronts left and went to malls. But I think now people are really knowing that downtown is an experience. When they travel, I think to get that true feeling of what's going on and what that community is about. You have to visit the downtown. It's the heart of your community. It's where people become social. It's where you tell stories, and but that is Main Street's mission. So yes, working with the facades and looking at those storefronts and going, we want to do this here. Like just today I called someone and said, we really need to clean the awnings. They're getting a little bit dirty. But some of the things that we'll be doing at the 2D is some fundraising for Main Street. And that will help go towards some art and projects that will enhance the streetscape as we move further into the planning for that. We will begin a mural on the Hambly Boulevard side of Jenny Wiley on May the 19th. We're very excited about that. This is going to be done by a local artist, and he's going to be using spray paint. Not brushing it on, but he's going to be doing it with Kansas spray paint. We're so excited about that and hope that gives Jenny Wiley another face to say, hey, stop here, buy tickets, and definitely support them. And then after that one, we'll go to 2nd Street side. And that mural will be directly above Jenny Wiley to where you'll be able to stand across the street, look straight on it. And the next phase of that will be adding augmented reality to that. And we've been talking about that for a while, but we have to get the mural done first because when you do augmented reality, it allows you to look through your phone with an app and see these mobile images. So we really could have someone in the mural, their face going, come in, buy a ticket, just whatever we want it to do. So we're very excited, to get that finally off the ground. But some of the images is out there from the Mornings with Main Street discussion about 2nd Street and the streetscape is the proposal of doing a whole wonderful, I think it's a tribute to history, is taking the Judicial Center green space, and we're working with them. This is not something we say we are doing, it's something we're working with them to plan and to see if it can come to fruition. But is to look at that area for a small amphitheater, for a whole nother design that lets you visualize what the cut-through is about, because it will literally go through that area. A splash pond, places for people to see that will enhance the street, and then continuing around to Jenny Wiley to put different kinds of parklets and different seats that we can use also to display art. And so we're really trying to look at making it more of a cultural experience. You'll get then to step on over to the Dueling Barrels and learn the history of the Hatfield and McCoy feud and why Dueling Barrels was named after that, because that's exactly why it was, the Hatfield and McCoys. And their appreciation for that when they go into their new business will be to have tours. And so our visitors and tourism people will be able to go, this is just an awesome experience. Again, that word experience just keeps coming back to me as that's what we're trying to create.
Well, I've often said that, and I mentioned to Philip Ellswick just recently, that if you park your car, maybe say at the Expo Center on the street, or if you park it at the park or near the parking garage, or if you just park in the parking garage and just get out and do that walkability. As you said, just take a wonderful stroll, get you a bottle of water, stop at Roasted and get you a coffee or a latte, and then just start to walk around. It's amazing what you will see in the city that you do not see when you're in your car. It is amazing to me, and especially at Hillbilly Days, when you're out walking a lot, you see other things that you may not have seen. As for me, I wasn't necessarily looking so much at the booths and things like that, but I love seeing our city. I love being on 2nd Street and seeing Jenny Wiley, seeing Mickey's, walking on down to CC Bell Art and Gift, and then you flip on over to the back side and you've got, there's the banks and the courthouses, and there's the Expo Center Plaza, all these different things that you don't get to see, and then you can walk all the way down Main Street to the end and get dinner, or some of our new businesses, see some of our new businesses that are being built. So if you get out on foot, it's amazing what you will find.
It's more appreciative.
Oh, absolutely.
And while you're walking around, you get all the music. all the way around downtown now.
All the time,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
that's just something else. It's such a pleasant experience, as you said. And as we talk about taking that green space next to the Judicial Center, and hopefully that will come to fruition, just the thought of something like that being in our downtown area, an amphitheater, the splash pond, just benches that you can sit on, have your lunch, or just have some quiet time. I mean, really, it's such. We go back to again the experience that you talk about being in the downtown area.
Well, and that's what tourism and Main Street is about. You know, that they're parallel to each other. You know, tourism, of course, is an initiative across every city. You know that tourism brings people downtown,
Yeah.
and you know, and Jimmy works hard, you know, to make sure that, you know, we're looking into every aspect to make everyone feel welcome. We work with the hotels. We work, you know, with conferences and things. Just last night, Main Street was involved with a conference that was here in town, and it was absolutely wonderful to hear them comment about Pikeville. And they'll take that away and they'll tell someone else. And then, you know, and then Main Street wants to preserve what is here to be able for tourism to show it. And so I think it's a great partnership, and the city is really on a great path of progress, because people all over Kentucky talk about, you know, the fact that Pikeville has become more stable than most, you know, cities, and has had more opportunities. And I think the reason why is because we all have a passion truly for our city.
Absolutely. That's the next thing I was going to mention. I know that both of you go to different conferences and seminars and events that are not in our city, that are statewide. I know you were out of the state just recently for a Main Street conference. And I know that people always ask each of you, what is going on in the city of Pikeville? How do you do what you do, Jimmy? And I know you've seen so many different aspects of that over the years that you've been with the city, and how everything has changed and grown and evolved. What do you tell them? What do you say? What's going on in Pikeville?
Come to Pikeville. I've got full sheets of everything going on, and this is just 1 month. 1 month of things
In
we
a
have
small
going on.
font.
Yes, a very small font.
Yeah.
I mean, you would not believe. Come and look. You'll be amazed at Pikeville.
There's always something to do and see, whether you go rent a kayak, you get on the river, which is, I'm really excited, hoping that we're not going to have a lot of rain this year, so we can get on the river a little bit more. You know, take a horseback ride. It's amazing what you can see at Bob Amos Park. I mean, you just go up there, you don't even feel like you're in the city, but you are smack in the middle of it. You know, go to a race, go to an event downtown, or just like I said, park your car, take a walk, and see how everything is evolving and really changing. Minta, what do you tell people when you're at conferences? I know you were at the National Main Street Conference recently
in
Kansas City,
Missouri.
and undoubtedly, I mean, you take different particles of what everybody else is doing too, to see how we can you know, maybe take some of their ideas and have them here. But what do you tell people? Because, you know, Pikeville's not always been like this, obviously.
No, it hasn't. Pikeville probably, you know, I've lived here almost all of my life. It has seen a lot of changes, and especially with, you know, new buildings coming about and things. But one thing that I probably get to, I think, brag about more than anything is still the ability for everyone to say that we are still building. We are still looking at ways, for example, you know, the industrial park, and the ways for economic development. And it seems to be that the people that we have in Pikeville, and especially in leadership, they don't stop. You keep thinking, and you keep grabbing those ideas from other places, and you make those connections. And it's all about, I think, conversation. If you're not afraid to start conversation. When I was in Michigan the month before Kansas City, just looking at their Main Street programs, and it's a little bit different there because they're called townships. But I got to go through a whole certification process with one town, a very affluent town. I was just really surprised, though, at how the merchants were just so passionate about their town. I got to meet a young woodcrafter, and his love for, you know, for just small business. And he's coming here in June to look at Pikeville. And so all it took was just the enthusiasm of the story, just to spread that around, and people, it gets contagious.
Yeah.
And I like to think that once they've heard enough, that they become inquisitive, and it seems that that's what happens.
Certainly so. Pikeville has become a destination, certainly over the past 10 years, with tourism and with Main Street and different things that we have going on. Certainly the Hatfield-McCoy feud is always one thing that everybody thinks about as such an historic event. And when the documentary came out, we had thousands of people come in.
Right.
Tourism stayed so busy for so long, and still people come and they want to hear all about it. But really, you have, for so long, people said, oh, I need to go to Lexington or I need to go to Louisville to do something, and you hear that, you've heard that so much, but really now it's like, well, I'm going to stay home and I'm going to do this weekend because there's the opportunity there. And then we have so many people on the weekends that come in, especially to our events, like maybe a car race or maybe a Main Street Live because they hear about it. And no doubt some of our new events that are coming up downtown. But you see license plates with other counties on them coming in, and they're making Pikeville their destination because there is so much to offer here. It's just, and I think sometimes when you live in the area, you know things that are there available to you, and you know that this might be happening or that's a place to go, and maybe you don't take advantage of those opportunities as much as we probably should.
I think being in the mountains, it says the mountains are calling.
Yeah.
It offers such a sense of tranquility that people don't have outside the area because we're nestled in the mountains. It's just, you have to know that that's real, that's home. And so those things are easier to talk about, and people want to hear that. And I'm like you, the cars that are here and want to know the history of, the Hatfield McCoy is probably the most recognized historical event across, the world, because even in Ireland, and look, how Alltech and Dr. Lyons, he resonated with him with dueling barrels. So I think our story is very easy to tell because it is such a special place. And that, I know it's overused and saying, well, we're unique and you tourism, we're so unique. Everybody's unique. But when you, I guess, have such a different place that people do want to see. And we're right on 23. People have to pass through Pikeville to get to so many other places coming north and south.
If you're passing by, why not stop in?
Exactly.
Absolutely. One of the events coming up that I think is a beautiful event for our downtown area, Main Street, brings a lot of people into the city, especially from our community, is the Dinner in White. It's coming up, and I definitely want to let everybody know that tickets are available for that.
Absolutely.
And what a great night to get your buddies together and have a great dinner downtown, maybe dance in the middle of the street.
Absolutely. I mean, how many times can you dance in the middle of the street under lights? I know Jimmy, they work with, us on there on the board, and the different committees that we have to set up for Dinner in White. We've already sold 100 seats.
Okay.
So we're at 350 is the max. We like to think that this is, you better get it now.
That's right.
And it is June the 2nd, and with the rain date of June the 16th. So this is a fundraiser again. This is our outdoor social fundraiser, and it goes into back what the story that we're trying to share around town is to create a little bit more of a visual experience when you're walking around. We have a lot of plans, and the city is awesome to provide us a budget and to let us do things. But I think when you ask the community to get involved, they feel like that they have a shared part in it, and it's so much more important.
Certainly something people can take ownership of, and why not make it an annual event for you and your families? Maybe to have a date night with a bunch of friends, and get out and get a table. It's $200 for a table of 8. So when you think about that and you think about having your dinner and stuff, that's not a huge price to have to pay to go out, with your friends on a wonderful event for that night, and certainly enjoy the downtown. The lights are beautiful. I just can't wait to see it. I always look forward to it.
It's kind of an awesome thing that the UMG does such a great job of stringing those lights and a chandelier across the street, and I'm very excited about that one, about this year's, because we do have a couple surprises, and we want to make it different every year. So we're just waiting for somebody to propose to somebody, and call it Dinner in White.
Why not go ahead and do it there?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Do it right there.
Just
I had
right
someone do that at Main Street Live.
I was there.
Yes.
I was there that night. That was awesome. One of a great experience, something we'll always remember.
Yep.
Lots of events coming up at the East Kentucky Expo Center, Jimmy. I know we want to make sure everyone is aware of what's going on.
Sesame Street Live on May the 6th. Come out and see Big Bird, Cookie Monster, Kermit the Frog, which he is the only crossover from the Muppet Show. Kermit the Frog.
Kermit the Frog.
Kermit the Frog, Mr. Snuffleupagus, Ernie, and Oscar the Grouch.
Jenny Wiley Theater's Disney's Camp Rock is still going on through the end of April, but also May 5th, 99 Squared event at UPike. What is that?
That is the longest stair climbing competition in America. You
Wow.
go up and down the 99 times. Now, if you look, I couldn't do it, but
I want to see who does. I don't want to do it, but I want to see who does.
I'd love to watch those that can.
I want to see that.
the longest stair climbing competition in America here in Pikeville.
Well, I want to see that. Let's talk about May 20th, the second annual Tour de Pikeville Bicycle Rally.
That'll start in at the farmers market. It's been put on by the East Kentucky Cycling Center. Last year, they had over 80 entries and looking to double that this year.
Really?
Yes, ma'am.
Listen, I just don't know if I could do that on a bicycle. I really don't. I mean, I have this fear of falling. Like, I don't even know if I could do what they do.
Well, it's open to
impressive.
all skill levels.
It would have to be the beginner.
All skill levels.
Dominic.
Tricycle up.
Tricycle up. That's exactly right. We have so many runners. We are a community of runners now. Certainly a few years ago we were not, but now we are definitely a health conscious community. We are a community of runners. May 26th, Run Hog Wild. Absolutely love it. When is that? Where it's going to be?
That's May 26th, and it starts and ends at the Randy Jones Memorial Park at Bob Amos. It's put on by Hillbilly Christmas in July,
Yeah.
and that goes to the proceeds go to that nonprofit organization, supporting the Kids Shriners Hospital in Lexington.
Yeah, that is something that that Jimmy Kenny and his daughter Shalebra certainly have a strong passion for. He has become a runner. I mean, he would have ever thought Jimmy Kenny would be a runner.
I know, he has boot camped it up.
He certainly has.
He's lost a lot of weight
he
with that,
has,
too.
but what he's done, he has preserved so much of his life, though. I mean, you know, making that conscious effort to be healthy. One of my favorite things that we have around town is the walking paths that we have, and you have the markers that you can see. So it's great family event that you can get your kids involved with too. Just another thing that our city has. Main Street works so closely with so many of our events. Tourism, I know there seems like there's a 5K to raise money every weekend for some group in our town or some nonprofit or cause. Always something to do and see.
Always something to do in
And
Pikeville.
yeah, and Minto, of course, we're recruiting businesses to come downtown. We want more.
We are. We definitely are. As we look at that 2D district and all of downtown, you know, we continue to say we need this, this, and this. This would make a complete puzzle. This, you know, somebody needs to fit into this building. So what we have started doing a transformation strategy, and the city that I mentioned from Michigan, how well that they've done is because of that transformation. Is they started engaging in and asking in a survey, what would you like to see downtown? What kind of business do you think that you would, you know, like to patron? Would you like an ice cream shop? Would you like a candy store? You know, would you like an authentic cooking class experience? And we're learning of different ways that businesses have to become smarter and have that blend of diverse revenue to survive. Yeah. So we have put the survey out there, and we are starting this transformation, and we have also identified available properties and are working with some of the property owners on incentives, and hopefully, you know, those will encourage people, because we realize that times have changed. You know, you go into a building and you look at it and you go, it needs some love. You know, hopefully we can find a way to make that happen. And if you're interested in any kind of business development, you contact our economic development office, and or myself or Jimmy, because we all work so close together with that. But you know, we're not going to stop. We're going to start calling on people. We're not going to wait for them to come to us. I know that there's opportunities for everyone, and I want this to really be the change of Pikeville, and to fill up any businesses that's open or want to expand with new people.
Absolutely. There's always something going on, and we are going to get together once a month over the next few months,
Yes, ma'am.
probably for the rest of the year, to talk about the wonderful opportunities that are going on for Main Street, different events that you can attend. We'll be really excited about that. Tourism, I know you're adding to your schedule and your calendar every single day, so we'll update people, but I really just appreciate y'all sitting down and taking the time to update us and let us know what's going on, and appreciate all the work that you all do to make our city one of the best that I think is in the state. Minta Trimble, Jimmy Taylor, thanks so much.
Thank you, Jill.
Join us next time as we continue to update you on the City of Pikeville Main Street program and the Tourism Department. For now, I'm your host, Jill Fraley Dotson. Have a wonderful day.